right. I put it long enough or so. We have Johnny Somali news, okay? We have straight up Johnny Somali news. We have a, like, what is it? A 4-season episode, like a 4-season pack episode of Johnny Somali shenanigans, okay? All right. Let's start from the very beginning, shall we? Let's literally start from the very beginning. They should fast forward the court time with the recent cases. Yeah. Muin video? Muin video? What's Muin video? I don't know what that is. No, we have 4 videos here. We have literally 4 videos from the day that happened or so with his court day for one of the actual things that he got charged up until the most recent thing that we have so far, you know, which is, you know, 1 day ago. So we have a lot to consume here. And I'm very curious to see what our boy Johnny Somali has been up to. Let's find out, shall we?
If you come right here, you see...
Because you want to know the difference? He went to Korea.
Right there is where pretty much the most hated live streamer in the world made one of the worst decisions of his life by deciding to getting belligerently drunk, throwing noodles around, and then...
Stop! Dude, I fucking hate this. I fucking hate this video, dude. I kind of completely forgot about the noodle thing or so, and then one of the comment sections reminded me, is like, oh, I think Nyaru forgot about the noodle thing. Thanks for reminding me about the noodle thing. Thanks, YouTube comment section.
out an elderly store employee. This basically kickstarted his downfall here in Korea because it was...
I saw that too as well. It popped up on my feed too.
And this caused a ripple effect that put enough negative attention on his behavior that he got the attention of the Korean government. And now with all the official charges placed on him, he's now facing over a decade in Korean prison. So today, we're gonna head over to his trial. So over the past few years, this streamer has built a small career off of going to countries that have a reputation of being extremely polite, taking advantage of this and harassing people for his own content. And not too long after he started doing this, he ended up in jail in Japan for a little bit over 3 months while he was awaiting his trial. Eventually, he only ended up receiving a fine and a slap on the wrist, and he chose to double...
They should have doubled down on his ass, to be honest.
Double down on the style of content. So he then went
I
to
love
Israel,
a Tozy.
But unfortunately for him, he was attacked multiple times, had a lot of interactions with the police, and ended up fleeing the country before something happened to him. This is where he decided to go to Korea and try this format that he did in Japan over here. And unfortunately, he did this for a while until he flew just a little bit too close to the sun.
Yep.
So essentially, he was streaming exactly from right here.
And obviously, that upset a lot of people, including the Korean government. And naturally, he is his own worst enemy because he films and live streams everything that he does. So all the Korean officials have to do is just sit and go through all of his live streams, which they all have saved, and essentially say, oh, well, you did this, you did this, you did this. We can charge you for this, this, and this. And when those charges can drop, that can be whenever. In theory, they can just keep on opening more and more cases against him based on his past content. And under no circumstances,
my man is never leaving Korea ever. He is not leaving Korea ever.
Circumstances can Johnny leave the country until all of his cases are finished, all of his time is served, and all of his fines are paid. But for some reason, up until now, Johnny thought he was gonna get away easily. But as you can see, I flew out to Korea to go to the trial and report right back to you guys exactly how things went down.
I'm gonna be honest with you, a Tozy is fucking goated to go to Korea just to see this. Bro, if I was rich or so, I would totally go to Korea and record it as well, you know, or not really record it because you can't record in there, but like I would totally go over there to kind of hear the entire thing itself, dude. I would so 1000% go over there.
So it's now a couple days before the trial, and he's now been hit with yet another charge of obstruction of business. Dude is essentially collecting charges like he's Thanos collecting Infinity Stones. Now, he's sitting there with a grand total of about 2 charges for obstruction of business and 2 misdemeanor charges.
The most ironic thing about all this is I feel like I'm actually taking Johnny's trial more seriously than him when it's his freedom that's on the line. I dragged my jet-lagged self out to the trial 2 hours before it started because I wanted to be there at a minimum an hour early so I could guarantee myself a seat in the Saal.
Okay, buddy.
Saal is Norwegian. To guarantee myself a seat in the courtroom.
No, it's not Korea. It's Japan. Get it right. It's Japan where I want to buy clothes, not Korea.
But this dude decided to go live drunk at 3 in the morning.
What?
And live stream for like 3 hours when he had to be in the court by like 8:50. And here, in his own fashion, he started trash talking the Korean government and accidentally leaked that he had more charges coming his way.
National Intelligence Security Charge. National Intelligence Security Charge. Does anybody know what the that means? They say the National Intelligence Service gonna come get me. Tell them come find me. I ain't scared of them.
How is this guy playing his cards in the dumbest way possible every single time? I mean, like, it's like every decision he makes is going to make everything infinitely worse for himself. He just does not want to be a free man. But as many of you guys know, he's been running around promoting North Korea in his streams. On the metro station by blasting the national anthem and by blasting various speeches by Kim Jong-un. And then he's been running around, you know, preaching positivity about North Korea while he's been streaming. And if you know anything about North Korea and South Korea, you would know that's an unwise thing to do.
He doesn't care.
It's like he
just cares about the attention and the money.
And that wasn't the only
That's
charge.
literally straight up a person who only cares about the fame and glory and money. That person, Johnny Somali, is literally the embodiment of greed. And what is it? What would it be? What would be the what would be the other sin? What is it? Pride or something? Like he takes pride or so in his shit? I don't know.
He also accidentally leaked that he was getting a charge that was infinitely worse while using a racial slur to the prosecutors and judge.
You can get the game. They writing this in language.
And this is where things get interesting because it shows how the prosecutors are playing against him, because this is a way more serious charge and it's a completely separate case. Meaning, if he pleads guilty to the smaller charges, they can then charge him in this case as a repeat offender, meaning they'll be going way harder on him with the sentencing. So keep that in mind for later. But apparently he just doesn't care because he just announced that no matter what, he's just gonna stream and make money even though he legally cannot.
I don't give a these people lock me in the country, I'm gonna make bread. If these lock me in the country, I'm gonna make bread. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Send that to the prosecutor. My live stream donators, they gonna get it rich and oiled.
Who the fuck even donates to this guy? What's wrong with you guys? Honestly. Like, straight up, what is wrong with these people who are actually donating to this baboon?
They feel bad that I've been locked here. Snitching. Johnny Somali is making money. Yeah, don't lock me in the country, Korean corrupt ass government. If the government don't want me to work, I'm not working, I'm streaming. It's two different things.
Streaming is working. I'm just saying. It also still considered as working, bro.
Be at Home Depot or selling my... That's working. Shut the up.
All of this is just so incredibly self-inflicted. Maybe people would have a little bit of sympathy for him if he didn't spend the last 2 years harassing strangers in public for profit. Dude is literally just traveling to be a burden to other people's societies as a career. And he's admitted that's how he makes his money. So this is his occupation. And clearly he doesn't care about anyone except for himself, and he will just do anything to make money. And he's admitted that himself.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it, bro.
Here it is.
You're gonna come up to me, bro. Why are you being other people in other countries? Why are you bullying people in other countries? For money, like, for clout. I've said it many times.
But if he cared so much about himself, I'm surprised he did this before showing up to court. Because wouldn't he want freedom? Because on his stream, knowing he had court in just a few hours, he drank until he vomited all over the place.
I'm giving y'all the first viral moment tonight. my God, I threw up everything. Y'all want to see this? Oh
No.
my God.
No.
And obviously, yeah, that happened just a few hours before he was supposed to meet up for court. So naturally,
Jesus
he
Christ.
overslept. But before he ended the stream, he also announced that he was going to live stream during the trial.
The trial is live tomorrow, and I will be live streaming the trial.
You know, while he's at it, what's another felony for him?
So it's Friday morning. We're now heading to the Johnny Somali lawsuit, which is definitely going to be very interesting because I feel like it's going to go one of, three ways. It's like either he gets a complete slap on the wrist and he's like, all right, get out of here. Two, they want to go somewhere in the middle of the road where they give him some punishment, but also don't want him here for too long. Or three, the judge just really drops the hammer down on him, and
I hope they drop
he
the hammer on him
serves
hard.
quite a while.
Take your
here.
dubstep,
And I
be
feel like
safe,
the
be safe,
second
hon.
option is the most likely outcome, but also who knows? Because I don't know how judges normally handle cases here. First time in
True.
Seoul. Got Hans with me. He's editor of the channel, one of the editors. Him alongside of Daniel. Unfortunately, Daniel was sick, so he couldn't come out to Korea. Me and
Aw.
Hans are holding down the fort. I'm actually shocked right now. So we just found out that Johnny's been streaming all night, and he's incredibly drunk. And apparently he's been doing like text-to-speech donation shots, and his chat, of course, got him incredibly drunk before his papers, or not before his papers, before his trial.
Jesus.
And the reason I mentioned papers is because apparently he showed his papers on stream, and apparently he's been indicted for some crazier crimes than what we even thought. So this is going to be an interesting day, to put it lightly. If he doesn't show up, what happens?
They will put it off for a month.
Okay.
Or
In his
potentially-
case, in this very special case, he might be detained.
yeah,
Okay.
because he's made such a stink that they might feel that he's a risk, so they'll probably arrest him.
Okay.
Potentially, that would be funny.
Apparently another Korean streamer threw a brick through a window here.
The window. Yeah.
He broke the window over there.
Wow.
This other great streamer.
Yeah. Young one.
Jesus.
So what's the prediction of how long Johnny's going to get, you guys think?
What do we predict his sentence will
Yeah.
be? 3 to 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And he'll be held here in Korea for that.
In prison.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Well,
my prediction.
He'll go to the foreign prison, which is not fun. He'll have lots of
Hey,
Chinese
legal
friends
mindset.
there to keep him company, and he's been making fun of China as well, so that'll go over brilliantly.
Yeah.
He's about to find out that being in an Asian prison is not.
It doesn't help when you have multiple charges stacked against you.
No.
This is the room right here. And so there'll be a paper with the all the cases.
Basically.
I guess the big question is will he show up?
Right.
Yeah, he's wasted at the moment, so.
We've been covering him for what, like a year and a half, and every video I make on him, I'm like, how is this possible? How is he finding a new low? And
It's always so impressive how he manages to always go even lower than the Earth's core, dude. It's just crazy, man. It is. I don't know how. You know what? Maybe he does have a talent. You know, maybe that is his. Maybe that's probably is his talent. Is, you know, how to bring himself down to the most shittiest problems ever.
even today, he found a new low, or tonight. He was rambling about the
He
judge.
was rambling about the judge. He was rambling about everything. He showed the document that he's legally not allowed to show, that you have a picture of, which shows that he's basically, the police have sent the crimes charges,
Fake charges to the prosecutor in the Eastern District.
Okay, so he's
So he shouldn't show
charged
that.
for that.
Yeah, but
No,
he
not
shouldn't show
confirmed.
that.
Not confirmed. Not confirmed.
Okay.
It's at the prosecutors, but there's a
Okay.
very high chance that they will indict.
Yeah.
And maybe they have indicted. We don't know yet, but we will find out.
So could that add more charges for him as well?
No, he can show that. I mean,
Right.
thank you, Johnny.
Yeah.
He pleaded guilty to the other charges that they had, which was obstruction of business, carrying a rotting fish and threatening people with it in public, twerking on the train and that kind of thing.
Right.
The dapper gentleman who was in the recap I did after the stream, he did a court summary where essentially he wrote down everything that happened during the courtroom.
Ooh.
So here we have Johnny Somali court case, March 7th, 2025, first hearing. 9:50, courtroom doors open. 9:51. Courtroom layout and observations. Atosi begins to make a courtroom sketch. Just in case you were wondering, this is my courtroom sketch here. So this is exactly what the courtroom looked like from the the podium where we were sitting. So you have the judge in the center there, the Korean flag. Behind him, you have the prosecution on one side and then the defense on the other side. And as you can see, Johnny's stanced up in a very oversized white suit. And then obviously in the middle there, you had the interpreters because there was no witnesses that was called to this case yet. Hearings begin. 10:09, Ramzi Khalid Ismail is called to the stand. His lawyer informs the judge that he is attempting to contact him. The entire court waits. The judge appears mildly irritated. 10:11, delay confirmed. The lawyer finally makes contact with Ramzi and informs the court that he will arrive 15 minutes late. At 11, Johnny Somali is absent. Johnny has still not appeared in court. Given that he was drinking all night, it is possible that he is still intoxicated. His lawyer appears to be attempting to sober him up. 11:09, Ramzi arrives. The courtroom informed Ramzi that he is on his way up the stairs. The judge and prosecution appeared mildly irritated. 11:11, Ramzi enters the courtroom looking very rough. He is wearing an ill-fitted gray suit that is too large for him and a red MAGA cap. As he enters, he smirks at Atozi and me. He then notices Legal Mindset, who is slightly in his blind spot. Seeing Legal Mindset, he grins foolishly and sticks his tongue out at him. Hank follows closely behind. In an attempt to appear confident, Ramzi fails to follow courtroom protocol. He is told to remove his hat, which he does. However, while smirking at Legal Mindset, he absent-mindedly puts it back on. The court officer immediately instructs him to remove it again. He then attempts to sit in the interpreter's seat and is told to move. So he originally went to the center, but obviously he can't be there, so he had to go to the defense side. After a brief moment of confusion, he finds his lawyer and sits beside him. He once again glances at Legal Mindset, smirks, and sticks out his tongue. The judge and prosecution observe everything. In the audience, two female journalists sit directly in front of us. A white male journalist sits on the left-hand side of the courtroom, all of them rapidly taking notes on their laptops. Ramzi is instructed to stand for the judge. His demeanor is disrespectful and irreverent. The judge asks for his occupation, to which he falsely claims to be a student. The judge raises an eyebrow, but does not otherwise react.
Really now, huh? A student, huh?
When asked to confirm his address, Ramzi suddenly adopts a confused and helpless foreigner persona. He pretends to not know his address because he does not speak Korean. The judge informs him that he may speak English and simply state the numbers. It is evident that the judge understands and likely speaks English. The judge asks for his nationality, to which he promptly responds the United States of America. Ramzi stands sloppily in his oversized suit, hands in his pockets while speaking to the judge. Oh, and also just to add more context, so Ramzi is speaking to a translator who is then talking to the judge in Korean. But as stated, it seemed very clear the judge fully understood Ramzi. And then obviously to add more context, if it's not clear, Ramzi is Johnny Somali. 11:15, judge issues a warning. The judge warns Ramzi that failure to attend future hearings could result in a harsh sentence in his absence. 11:16, charges were read by the prosecution. The prosecution reads out the 3 charges against Ramzi. 1. Disruption of business. Ramzi entered a 7-Eleven and began drinking alcohol, which is illegal in Korea. When the elderly shop owner asked him to stop, he became verbally abusive. He threw ramen inside the store and
God, dude.
continued drinking anyway. He played loud music, danced drunkenly, and harassed customers as they entered. His actions caused financial harm to the business and emotional distress to the owner. The prosecutor's language mirrors the strict legal vocabulary used in the previous drug dealer's case that we witnessed before Ramzi's case, emphasizing the social damage that Ramzi's actions caused. 2. Public harassment with a rotting fish. Ramzi carried a rotting fish in a plastic bag and harassed people. When passengers asked him to remove the fish from the bus, he ignored them. He randomly approached pedestrians with a rotting fish, disturbing social order and making people feel unsafe. Upon hearing about the rotting fish, the judge slightly tilts his head and reviews the charges, seemingly in disbelief. However, he remains stone-faced and does not comment. And then the 3rd charge is lewd conduct on public transportation. Ramzi was accused of sexually suggestive dancing and playing loud music on the bus and in train. He was specifically accused, in quote, of twerking, which is considered deviant in Korea.
I'm not doing it. Oh, yeah, no.
This was a statue Johnny twerked on.
And
Okay,
that's apparently the first time the word twerking has ever been used in a court case in Korea. 11.
That's crazy. That is, ugh, dude. They're just hearing this is just, dude.
18. The unexpected 4th charge. The judge asks Ramzi if he's received the letter of the 4th charge. Both Ramzi and his lawyer appeared confused. The lawyer receives a new charge and reviews it. Then the judge asks the defense how they wish to plead. Ramzi's lawyer states that he pleads guilty to all charges except for the new charge, which they have not yet reviewed. The judge asks how much time the defense requires. The lawyer requests 3 weeks to review the new charge. The judge then grants the request, and then the hearing of the 4th charge is scheduled for April 9th, 2025. Ramzi no longer smiles and appears very concerned. 11.
Apparently, right, chat? it gets worse. He gets charged for something else, which we'll take a look at later.
20. Judge's final word. The judge sternly warns Ramsey to not be late for the next hearing. The judge looks
It gets
mildly
worse.
annoyed, which in Korean
Okay,
culture
chat.
indicates that he is
It
actually
gets
very
worse
11:22.
somehow.
Court adjourns. We stand and exit the courtroom, leaving Ramsey behind. After the hearing, a journalist asked Ramsey why he wore a MAGA cap and kept putting it back on. Ramsey responded, "Because I can do whatever I want. Korea is a vassal state of America." Again,
Excuse me?
and that is a quote from him. His freedom is in Korea's hands right now. Why he's acting like this now, I don't know. But also, I have no idea why he's done 99% of the stuff that we've been covering him doing. But after the trial,
Run that back? Yeah, here, watch. Because I can do whatever I want. Korea is a vessel state of America. That's a crazy ass fucking quote to hear that.
we went and had lunch and discussed the trial.
First trial case for him. Very fascinating. Apparently he pled guilty to the first set of charges, and he now has another court date and a separate trial, or a separate case.
Can you do a quick run through about the fish thing? Or like, so what happened?
So basically, he got on the public transport with a rotten fish.
Yep.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I remember
what,
that.
Sorry, but what did the judge say about all that?
They indicted him for it because it's disturbance of business, and the public transport here is technically a private company. Like, it's half government owned, but it's still a private company. So it's still obstruction of business, and he was harassing people with the fish randomly in the street for no reason. They said specifically he was approaching people for no reason and harassing them with a rotten fish.
Jesus.
So it's kind of, it goes into harassment and also the obstruction of business. Yeah, because it made public transport, people felt unsafe, they said.
So that counted as an obstruction of business as well, not only just minor charges? That was a minor charges or a misdemeanor.
Harassment.
Yeah, and then the second minor charges was him on the subway twerking.
Subway twerking, playing loud music.
Playing
Loud music and disrupting people, making them feel unsafe on public transport.
What did the judge say or react to any of it? Did he give anything?
He just kind of basically didn't show much response. He was just noting down what the charges were. And as Johnny was walking in making faces, the judge noticed that he was making faces. So it's probably not going to count in his favor.
Right.
Tried to wear the hat as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he tried to wear a hat.
Yeah, he tried to wear the Trump hat.
MAGA hat. I can't wear my hat. The fact that they made him take it off twice was hilarious.
Oh man.
And he wore a very badly fitting suit.
That's Hank. It's always Hank suits. That's got too much padding.
Yeah, it was like a kid wearing his dad's suit. It was embarrassing.
After lunch, I ended up trying to live stream multiple times, but couldn't get a decent internet connection, so we ended up going to a Starbucks to where I could actually stream. And that's how we got this VOD, which is still up on my channel. And remember what I said about him pleading guilty? Well, that's exactly what happened, because, you know, he showed up drunk and pled guilty to 3 of those charges, which means no matter what, he's going to become a convicted criminal in Korea because he just pleaded guilty. So he's now banned from Korea when they finally let him leave here after he served all of his time and paid all of his fines. And in future cases against him, he'll be tried as a repeat offender, meaning he'll be getting a way harsher sentence. And in these future cases, it seems like these charges are way harsher. But somehow, after all of that, he still thinks that he's not even going to spend any jail time in Korea and he's going to be a free man soon. And not only that, he also admitted to showing up drunk and not caring about his case on a live stream. After all that,
they're claiming that like I came in and I was blindsided by the fact that I had a new charge and was like sitting in the wrong place and was nervous. This was a breeze, and the only reason I'm ready to start going live again, because honestly I have no fear. Like, that's really, these people are clout chasing off my name so badly, because these from Pakistan saying I arrived late and hungover. Okay, they're not lying about that part. I'll give you that. I was late to the court by like an hour. I was hungover. I'm gonna be honest about that. But it wasn't really that big of a deal. It wasn't really that big of a deal. You know, I showed up drunk. I showed up happy. Like, but they got me for like spilling a cup of noodles. They got me for
I think he might be worse than My Hero Academia fans at this point, you know?
carrying a stinky fish. They got me for some, bro. Like this, you can't go to jail for that in any country. I know for a fact I'm not gonna go to jail. Not one day in jail, but I have the footage of me and Hank leaving the court laughing our asses off. Like, bro, we're not taking this serious.
Dude, do you not care about your freedom anymore?
Oh, man, dude. Man, dude, it hurts to hear this, dude. It really fucking hurts to hear this.
I mean, unfortunately for him, this was likely his last conversation with his lawyer.
We got good and bad news. Good news, we got your payment, buddy. Bad news, they gave you life. Sayonara.
Except he's using a public defender, so I mean, you get what you pay for. He's not paying them anything. And this charge, which is way more serious, is apparently the creation and distribution of the deepfake video of himself making out with another Korean female streamer, which is a massive charge in Korea because that's extremely illegal. And from that charge alone, if he's unlucky enough, that could be another decade in prison. And I mean, just by looking at how he's treating this case, it's not like he's playing his cards right to get any sympathy from the judge. I'm in disbelief, honestly. Why would you willingly just absolutely destroy your life and freedom to live stream for like 40 people? But as we mentioned,
Because he cares about the clout and the money. That's all he cares about, Atozy. That literally is all this man cares about. He is literally the embodiment of a clout goblin and a greed person. You know, the actual sin, greed.
Earlier, there was another journalist who was there who asked him the question where he said that he was wearing the MAGA hat because Korea is a vassal state of America. That's his words, absolutely not mine. And he's saying this right after the US announced they were looking into dropping tariffs on South Korea. So again, optics-wise, that is a terrible decision to make. I guess his Hail Mary is he's thinking Trump's gonna come save him because he's wearing that hat. Wake up call. That's not gonna happen, buddy. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're just gonna have to see what happens. Either way, it really does not look like it's gonna go well for him. Everyone I've talked to have estimated anywhere from 3 to 5 years is a realistic term for this case. Then we have all the future things that could happen. So who knows how much time he'll actually end up getting. If this video gets 100,000 likes,
I don't even think he was eating mushrooms, man. He must have went even harder. But wait, there is still more. Okay, there is still more. There is still more. Part 2.
This disrespectful IRL streamer is in complete denial that he ruined his own life. I mean, it's so bad that he doesn't even understand the world of trouble he's actually in. Things have just got so bad for this guy that he is now promising to go back to harassing people in public while his trial is ongoing.
No fucking way that he actually started harassing people. There's just no way. There's no... Oh my god.
Because he no longer cares, I guess.
If y'all want chaos, let me be your conduit. Let me be your bastion of the evil. If you want to see anarchy, if you're an anarchist, and you want somebody that is going to crash out with no remorse, with no sense of self-worth, with no sense of self-preservation, I will be your man.
As if you think he couldn't do anything dumber doing this during his ongoing criminal trial. He surprises us yet again. So obviously, we're talking about the IRL streamer Johnny Somali, who's recently been held in Korea for months after streaming himself commit multiple felonies in Korea.
Dude. They just need to put his ass in jail, bro. They just need to, you know where they should put him or so? They should put him in the maximized prison or so in El Salvador, bro. That's where they should put his ass.
For donations and attention. This has obviously backfired a bunch against him because he's his own star witness against himself. Currently, he's facing several charges, some of which he's already pleaded guilty to, which I've already covered here on this channel since I flew out to South Korea for his trial. And going into that trial, I don't know why, but I thought maybe, just maybe he would be respectful and play it a little bit smart for, you know, a better shot at a lighter sentence. But I was so incredibly wrong. I mean, the dude showed up over an hour late to his own trial, still drunk, because he decided to live stream drunk just hours before he had to wake up for his early morning trial. But as you guys know from watching my previous video, the trial couldn't have gone worse for him. He made an absolute terrible impression on the judge, and he accidentally leaked new charges against himself while he was drunk the night before. And I guess, like, as if things couldn't get more ironic, his case number ends with 666. So, I don't know if that's intentional
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. I didn't even see that actually.
or not, but that's a wild coincidence. But either
That's
way,
funny.
he for some reason thinks the trial went great for him, and
That
he'll
is
only get a slap on the
hilarious.
wrist.
You're the one who's gonna look so dumb when I don't get any jail time or anything. Like bro, I'm gonna laugh like a villain. Look, I did go there and recognize all the charges. I said I was guilty. I did say all this because it's just gonna be a fine. What the? I'm just gonna pay it and leave, bro. Like you can't go to jail for this. You can't. Like you literally cannot.
Yeah,
Does he not know what country he's in or something? Korea plays with different rules. You know that, right? Ah, jeez.
I was there. Things really did not go his way. How does he not realize? Since he pleaded guilty to multiple charges, he will now be convicted as a felon there.
Tell me about
He will
it.
now be charged as a repeat offender for his next case, which is a way more serious charge. And also, every clip that we're gonna watch in today's video, he will only make things infinitely worse for himself as each clip goes by. Because I keep saying this guy somehow always finds the dumbest way possible to react to every situation that he's in. It's like he's trying to go for a maximum sentence for all of his charges here. And the prosecutors and judge will see all of these videos here. I mean, now even the Korean media is calling for a harsh punishment for him. So there's a lot of pressure for this guy not to walk. And of course, he's his own star witness in making everything worse for himself. As he even confirmed in this video, what we observed in the trial was true. He was indeed drunk.
Hank is saying like long live China, stuff like that, but bro, I'm slurring. I'm drunk.
This guy just consistently removes any plausible deniability from his own
Ay,
trial.
ay, ay.
But he did a breakdown where he talked about his side of the trial, and this is where we learned how delusional this dude really is.
I'm gonna give you guys the post-trial breakdown. We have all this news right here from Korean and other sources. I want you guys to send me in the Discord right now to react to. I'm gonna give you the whole real, unadulterated, true story because I have footage from the court that y'all haven't seen. I got footage from the court that y'all don't know about. They're claiming that like I came in and I was blindsided by the fact that I had a new charge and was like sitting in the wrong place and was nervous. This was a breeze, and the only reason I'm ready to start going live again because honestly I have no fear. Like that's really, these people are clout chasing off my name so badly. Like look at this. I got these these are from Pakistan saying I arrived late and hungover. Okay, they're not lying about that part. I'll give you that. I was late to the court by like an hour. I was hungover. I'm gonna be honest about that. It wasn't really that big of a deal. It wasn't really that big of a deal.
Okay, everything you did in court signals to the judge that you don't care, nor respect them. You're doing nothing to favor any lighter sentence for yourself. But let's hear this full truth here.
You know, I showed up drunk. I showed up happy. Like the charges that they have me put on, the charges that they have me for are such minor, minuscule charges. It's obstruction of like, bro, spilling a cup of noodles, carrying a fish. But they got me for like spilling a cup of noodles. They got me for carrying a stinky fish. They got me for some, bro. Like this is, you can't go to jail for that in any country. But the reason I've been quiet is I didn't want to really feed the trolls. I didn't really want to feed like this energy of these just lying and making up all this bullshit about me.
Okay, so why would you risk extending your sentences by acting like a complete moron? It's also everything that he's done between these charges that also goes into account for when they're choosing how harsh they're going to be during the sentencing. And it doesn't help that everything he's done basically since he was served with this criminal lawsuit has hurt him more than help him. It just seems like he's still operating like he's in the US. Like, no. Most likely, you wouldn't get any serious prison time for any of these antics in the US. But in South Korea, the country that's held him in limbo there for over 4 months against his will, clearly, they operate differently. So why would you ever act like a moron and test your luck when you really don't have to.
Like, I cannot believe how low life you have to be to fly. And this Tozy made at least 21 videos about me. This made how many videos? Johnny Somali, he's over. 99 years, he's done. Like, I don't know how people still keep following for this. This made the same videos about me in Israel, Japan, like, and I'm still fine.
The dude claims he's fine, yet this is him right now. As of now, he's a walking case of survivor bias, and it seems like he'll be stuck in Korea for at least the next year. What are you talking about? Still fine. I flew out to cover you being an absolute idiot in court. And yeah, we got some views. Meanwhile, you fly across the world to harass people in public for 40 viewers, and those people want to see you get hurt or arrested. I cover laughably stupid stuff on the internet, so I guess congratulations for being laughably stupid enough times for me to make so many videos on you. But sure, dude, go continue to harass people in Korea and see how that plays out for you in the multiple cases that are coming your way. Because that's exactly what he's planning, even though he has these ongoing trials.
If y'all give me the support and the donations and the love, the power chats, the crypto donation, I'm ready, bro. If y'all want chaos, let me be your conduit. Let me be your bastion of the evil. If you want to see anarchy, if you're an anarchist and you want somebody that is going to crash out with no remorse, with no sense of self-worth, with no sense of self-preservation, I will be your man. I'm building up the Johnny Somali Pirates.
I mean, this absolute moron just made it extremely clear to the prosecutor and the judge that if he is not locked up, he will continue to harass civilians and businesses on the street for profit. And if that statement isn't bad enough, apparently he's itching to crash out.
I'm ready to crash out. Do you know how long it's been since I crashed out? I'm itching. I'm itching.
Hopefully it doesn't go that extreme or so.
And you're not gonna understand, ABZ's here. I could take a train to ABZ in 30 minutes right now. Shut his shit down. And shut that pepper spray and everything right now. I can go shut ABZ down right now.
The only thing he's going to do here is rack up more charges. I mean, this is honestly some David Goggins level commitment to being a full-blown moron. This is exactly why you need to love your kids, so they don't end up dedicating their lives to harassing strangers on the street for profit. But he did go on to talk about why he pleaded guilty.
Why I pled guilty 2 days ago or yesterday? It's because, bro, do you think I want to sit in this country any longer? Bro, if they got you for some, bro, I'm telling you, everything I pled guilty yesterday is like $50 fines, $100 fines. Playing music on a bus, spilling a cup of noodles, carrying a, bro, they're trying to charge me for carrying a dead fish and saying, do you want to eat fish? It's in quotations on the indictment. I have the indictment right here. It says you told someone, do you want to eat fish? In what country is that a charge? But do you think I'm really gonna sit there and argue with the judge over $100 fine?
It's not even, I love it how he's like completely like twisting the words, right? He's just like kind of like changing the story to fit his narrative, even though that's literally not what actually happened.
Guilty, so what? I'll pay it. I'm out. It's so simple. Yeah, they think this is, the police don't joke. I know in Japan they don't have sarcasm, but really in Korea the police have no sarcasm. The girl told me, why did you say you're part of a criminal organization called FT and CX if you're not a part of it? Why did you say that? And I said, you know what I mean? I said, you gotta ask them. You gotta ask the leaders. They really are onto this. They think it's not a game.
Dude, it's hard to understand sarcasm when there's a language barrier and they're not familiar with you. And being sarcastic to someone who has your freedom in their hands, that's definitely not the bright thing to do.
Whenever they showed me on the camera, when they showed me on the, I'm gonna take the headphones on because you're not even reacting yet. When they put the camera on me, like on that paparazzi, like purple walk they do in Japan, the detective was so angry. He's like, why did you smile at the cameras? Why did you smile at the cameras? In Asia, they really don't like this. It's like a saving face thing. Like this is like the worst you can do. Like this, they tweak the out.
So why are you doing this again? when, yet again, your freedom is in their hands. You're also providing the prosecutor and the judge with the information that you're extremely aware and intentional with your actions. But I guess this like false sense of security is based on what he found from another case of a woman getting 2 years for obstruction of business for crashing her car into a convenience store.
She drove her car into the convenience store. Took a car and crashed into the convenience store and beat up the convenience worker, destroyed the whole store, like literally attempted murder, bro. Like she did this and she got 2 years. She got 2 years because Korea is a woman in a feminist society. Whatever the feminism buff is the American passport US citizen buff. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I got the same buff. The same buff as her.
Honestly, I
You do know, like, having an American passport doesn't give you, like, what is the word or so? The golden pass, you know? It don't mean jack shit, bro.
I feel like the American part is kind of a debuff in your situation. Also, I would put my money on
immunity. There you go. That's the word.
that she was respectful and remorseful in court, and definitely not showing up late, drunk, and being racist towards the judge and prosecutors. So they are very different cases.
True.
And he has multiple charges pending, which stack with each other.
It's like that meme. Nothing ever happens. That's what I'm.
That's the worst part about it, because I know there's a lot of because this guy is literally putting number one, right? He's making dark-skinned people a bad name. That's number one. Number two, he's gonna make Americans be hated on as well, even though there's still a lot of good people out there, who travel to these places and they're not doing what he's doing, but what he's doing, unfortunately, is gonna invoke that stereotype, Oof, I think it's worse than Paul Brothers 2.0, to be honest. Go up to fucking, what is it? Windows 11 or so?
Tell these nothing ever happens. I'm telling these to lower their expectations. Yes, you hate me, you don't like me. I don't give a if you like me or not. But don't put this, the karma's gonna get him, some shit's gonna get him, because you're gonna feel left down. You're gonna feel let down, bro.
I guess we'll see how that statement ages. But he had a lot to say about the creator showing up to the trial, but I'll focus on what was about me.
So the thing is, we just got out of the trial. It went absolutely terrible for Johnny because
absolutely terrible. It was a 5-minute long trial. They just said, "What's your name? What's your address? What's your occupation? Come back April 9th. Don't be late next time."
Okay, well, that's simplifying things a little bit too much. It was a little over 10 minutes, and in that short amount of time, you disrespected the judge, the prosecutors, and pled guilty for 3 charges. One of those charges included a felony, and you have more charges coming your way, and seemingly a separate case where you will now be tried as a repeat
that's the
offender.
worst part about it.
I don't know about you, but I wouldn't say that went well for you. But in frustration, he then continued.
Yeah, no worries, Hikage. Get some good rest. Take care. Be safe, hun. Be safe.
Is to disrespect the judge.
Essentially, he got in trouble for, number one, wearing the hat.
I didn't get in trouble. I don't speak Korean. Said take the hat off. I don't know what these guys said. Said take the hat off. I don't know what the. Some told me take the hat off. I took it off. He was carrying a water bottle. Is that a what? Bro, they take the most little and try to make it they told him to take a hat off. Well, what? What are you talking about?
How stupid do you have to be? I mean, what do you mean talking the most little shit? I went there to report exactly what happened within those closed doors. So I'm walking everyone through from start to finish of what happened in that trial. Does it bother me that he had a water bottle? No, not at all. But at the time of this stream, no one knew exactly what happened in that courtroom except for the people that were inside the courtroom, which is why as soon as the trial was over, I needed to get out of the building so I could go live for you guys. I tried to go live outside the courthouse, but my 4G connection was not good enough. So we then went to the nearby Starbucks and went live.
4 charges against him, but only 3 of them were addressed today.
Okay.
The 4th charge, which he just discovered about,
How did I just discover about it? I can pull out the paper with the date on it that proves and show it to this camera that I knew about every single charge. They just make up. He didn't know. He didn't. No, you didn't know.
Dude, we were there. This is why your next hearing is April 9th, because your lawyer needed time to review the new charge before you entered a plea.
He's been playing.
Dude, I love Atozi how he's like automatically like, what the fuck are you talking about? This and this.
Playing his cards in the worst way possible.
What worst way? I didn't do anything. Like, I haven't played any cards. Like, I'm not playing any cards. I'm just waiting for it to be over. But I'm just gonna go. And then, listen, I'm gonna tell this to these. I'm not locked in Korea. These Koreans are locked in here with me. It's a big difference. It's a big difference.
Okay, Mr. Badass. Okay. I cannot believe what I'm hearing from this guy. Straight, I can't, dude. I cannot, dude.
I'm not locked in here. They locked in here with me. I didn't even, bro. If you think I caused chaos when I was going live, like in October and September, bro, they haven't seen nothing yet.
Dude literally says what cards, and then he goes ahead and doubles down and playing the worst hand possible. Like, if you are in a trial harassing people in public for profit, and then you go home and announce on your live stream that you're just getting started, what happens to you, man. I mean, you're not giving the judge nor prosecutor any reason to go light on you. It's just not going to help your case at all. I mean, even in the US, that would be a dumb idea, but he's still somehow operating like he's in the US and isn't at the mercy of a foreign court system.
Hey,
but I mean, whatever happens will just likely be jaw-droppingly
How you been?
stupid,
I hope you're doing well.
Yet again, make everything worse for himself.
For 5 minutes, I told you he flew from America. Imagine, bro, this flight was 12 hours to sit down for 5 minutes. 600 times the time. You flew 12, 15 hours for that? That's his clothing. His clothing. Yeah, my God, his suit was too big. He was smiling, and then he stopped smiling. This is journalism?
Yeah, you show up and report what happened. That's journalism. And I will be honest, if this trial was in a place that wasn't on my bucket list, I probably wouldn't have gone. But this just gave me a wonderful excuse to go explore Seoul for a couple days. So I mean,
it sucks for me because I get a tan or so when the summertime comes around or so. Even though like I look Japanese. Even though I'm not born from Japan, because I've said this story or so that I had like one time or so I had like Japanese people talk to me because they thought I was Japanese. So
I can't complain at all because I had a great time and some of the best food of my life. Dude, I ate at a Michelin star restaurant and I paid for both myself and my editor. And what we got was 2 bowls of hand-cut noodles and this like beef broth with beef, and then 2 orders of mandu, which I think are like
it looks so tasty.
It's like Korean dumplings essentially. And it was all for
Yeah,
like
tan lines.
$34.
Yeah.
Hands down, top 3 noodle places I've had in my life. And then on top of that, like the people there are just amazing. I don't understand why someone like him would just show up and disrespect them for profit. Either way, life is good, and I'm just happy I got a reason to go visit South Korea.
Okay, so we have the 2 misdemeanors, which number 1, it was for the fish.
Minor Crimes Act.
The Minor Crimes Act, which are essentially
Minor Crimes Act, misdemeanor. So why don't you tell everybody the max fine is $50, $100 for that? Why don't they tell me? They don't want to tell me the truth. Yeah, about 2 minor crime. That's $100, $150 for 2. It's like $70 each. Why did they tell us the truth?
Okay. Then once you stack those misdemeanors with the felonies and the amount of time that he's stuck in Korea waiting for his trial, and suddenly he's there for a long time. He's sitting there laughing, but he's the only one here who's being held against his will in Korea.
You have to have some kind of weirdness in your brain. I'm gonna fly 7,000 miles across the world to watch a 5-minute hearing.
Bro, he is literally Atozi is living rent free in this guy's mind. No joke about it. He's like trying his best or so to literally put Atozi down and everything, dude. This guy is like bugging the fuck out, dude. He is like bugging out, dude.
They said, what's your name? What's your address? What's your occupation? Okay, bye-bye. See you April 9th. Minor tickets, fines. I don't know what these guys gonna be an OJ Simpson trial.
The dude is just so mad that people showed up and told the world how cooked he seems to be. Like, the only good thing he has going for himself here is at least he's stuck in an awesome country. But a Korean lawyer did also come out and
It is a pretty awesome country for all the food that I see.
share his opinion that a slap on the wrist is not really in the cards for Johnny here either. So Johnny, he can just spin it however he wants, but the fact of the matter is he cannot return to the US right now, no matter how much he wants to.
You're the one who's gonna look so dumb when I don't get any jail time or anything. Like bro, I'm gonna laugh like a villain. Look, I did go there and recognize all the charges. I said I was guilty. I did say all this because it's just gonna be a fine. What the? I'm just gonna pay it and leave, bro. Like you can't go to jail for this. You can't. Like you literally cannot.
I mean, again, I wouldn't really say that's a good strategy for his trial, but it's not like anything he's done has been a good strategy for his trial. So it's not like too much has changed here. So I guess with some time, we'll find out what actually happens. But if you want to see the full coverage of the trial, you can watch this video right here.
God Lord, dude, that is crazy. Oh my God. But wait, we're not even done yet. But I will end it off from here. That is the end of the video. You will comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. And yeah, honestly, I am hoping he goes to jail and makes some cabbages, you know? Make some good old cabbages. Dude, honestly, I cannot. And there's still more. There's still more after this. It gets worse. Somehow it gets worse. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And peace.